Imagine waking up to a pain so sharp it feels like your leg is being torn from the inside, and then learning that for seniors, just one severe cramp can drain up to 10% of your leg strength overnight. These aren't harmless muscle spasms. They're sudden, crushing contractions that can leave you limping for days, afraid to move, and slowly stealing away your independence. That's why, in this video, we're going to show you how to fight back, naturally. You'll discover 4 everyday fruits that target the real causes of leg cramps in seniors and help you regain muscle strength, hydration, and confidence with every bite. They can strike in bed, on the stairs, or even during a simple walk to the mailbox. While dehydration, poor circulation, and nutrient gaps often play a role, the aging process makes these attacks far more likely. Reduced muscle mass, slower recovery, and subtle health changes all set the stage for more frequent, more severe cramps. The good news? Many of these painful episodes can be prevented with small, consistent lifestyle changes, starting with what's on your plate. Certain fruits, rich in potassium, magnesium, vitamin C, and antioxidants, not only fuel your muscles but also keep them hydrated, flexible, and resistant to spasms. But not all fruits are created equal, and the first one might seem obvious until you realize how often it's misunderstood. 1. Bananas, the potassium powerhouse. You've probably heard it 100 times. Eat a banana, it's good for cramps. But if you're still waking up in pain, then clearly something's missing, right? Here's the truth. Bananas are powerful, but not for the reason most people think. They don't work instantly. You can't eat one and expect your muscles to relax 5 minutes later. But eaten regularly, they rebuild your potassium reserves, a mineral that quietly drains as you age, leaving your muscles vulnerable to spasms. Why does potassium matter so much? Because it acts like a messenger between your brain and muscles. When potassium levels drop too low, even slightly, those messages get garbled. Your leg might cramp during sleep not because you're overdoing it, but because your nervous system and muscles are out of sync. Has that ever happened to you, where the pain felt like it came out of nowhere? One medium banana gives you about 400 to 450 milligallons of potassium, roughly 10% of your daily needs. And here's where it gets interesting. Your body doesn't store potassium well. That means if you're not eating potassium-rich foods consistently, your levels can dip before you even notice. That low-grade deficit builds up, and then one night, your leg locks up like a vice. But potassium doesn't work alone. It teams up with magnesium and sodium to balance fluids inside and outside your muscle cells. Think of it like a 3-way handshake. Without that balance, your muscles can dry out, tighten, and misfire. That's why bananas do more than just provide a quick snack. They support fluid balance and cellular hydration, something most seniors quietly lose over time. Have you ever gone a full afternoon without feeling thirsty, only to realize hours later that you barely drank any water? As we get older, our thirst mechanism becomes less reliable, and dehydration is one of the top silent causes of nighttime cramps. This is where bananas shine. Not only are they rich in potassium, they also help draw water into your cells, keeping muscle tissue soft, elastic, and able to contract without spasm. Especially in summer months, or after walks and garden work, bananas act like a natural electrolyte boost, without the sugar crash of sports drinks. But there's another key benefit most people miss. Bananas are packed with vitamin B6, a nutrient essential for healthy nerves and muscle movement. It helps your body produce neurotransmitters, chemicals that control how your muscles contract and relax. Without enough B6, even normal potassium levels may not stop a cramp in time. So here's the big question. When was the last time you ate a banana every day for a week? Not once in a while. Not only after the pain. Every day as prevention. Because maybe the real solution isn't waiting for the cramp. Maybe it's making your muscles stronger before it even starts. And if potassium is your foundation, the next fruit is the builder that keeps your muscles relaxed, your sleep deep, and your nerves calm. You may not think about it much, but it could be the missing piece your body's been asking for all along. 2. Kiwis, the magnesium muscle whisperer. Let me ask you something. Do your legs ever feel tight after just a short walk? Not painful exactly, just stiff, like your muscles forgot how to relax. If so, you might be dealing with something most people over 60 don't even know they're missing: magnesium. Now, kiwis may not be the first fruit you reach for, but for your muscles, they might just be the quiet hero you've been overlooking. Here's the deal. Magnesium is what allows your muscles to release after they contract. Without it, they stay tense, stuck halfway between movement and rest. And unfortunately, as you age, your body becomes less efficient at absorbing and holding on to magnesium. Even if you're eating well, you may not be getting or keeping enough. That's why kiwis are so important. One medium kiwi gives you a solid 30 milligallons of magnesium, plus a surprising amount of vitamin C. And you already know how crucial that is for healing, for reducing inflammation, for building and maintaining collagen in your muscles. But let's come back to magnesium. If potassium is the conductor telling your muscles to move, magnesium is the off switch that tells them when to stop. Without enough of it, even gentle activities like gardening or walking the dog can trigger cramps. Not because you're overexerting yourself, but because your muscles simply can't relax. Have you noticed cramps happening more in the evening or after a warm day outside? That's often a sign your electrolytes are out of balance, and magnesium is frequently the first to go. And unlike some minerals, your body doesn't give you loud warning signs until you're already in discomfort. What's more, magnesium isn't just about muscles. It supports your nervous system, helping your brain send clear, calm signals throughout the body. It also regulates your blood sugar and plays a key role in blood pressure. So when you eat a kiwi, you're not just fighting cramps, you're helping your whole system run smoother. And here's something you might not expect. Kiwis are rich in fiber. Why does that matter? Because a sluggish digestive system can make it harder for your body to absorb nutrients, especially as we get older. A healthy gut means better absorption, which means more of that magnesium actually reaches your muscles instead of being lost along the way. Still think one little kiwi can't make a difference? Try this. Eat one kiwi every morning for a week. Watch how your digestion, your energy, even your sleep might change. Because magnesium doesn't just work at night, it works all day long, rebuilding, relaxing, restoring. Now you might be wondering, if magnesium helps relax my muscles, what's helping hydrate them in the first place? That's where the next fruit comes in. It's sweet, it's over 90% water, and it's hiding a secret amino acid that can open up your blood vessels and send relief exactly where it hurts. Ready to find out what it is? 3. Watermelon, nature's hydration hero. You probably think of watermelon as a summertime treat, not a tool for pain relief. But what if I told you that this juicy, refreshing fruit could be the key to ending those nighttime cramps that keep stealing your sleep? Here's something most people forget. Your muscles are mostly water. And when you're even mildly dehydrated, which, let's be honest, happens more often as we age, your muscles become more prone to misfiring, tightening, and cramping. Now think back. When was the last time you felt truly thirsty? If you're over 60, your body's thirst signal just isn't what it used to be. You might not feel dehydrated, but your muscles know, and they remind you the hard way. That's why watermelon matters. It's over 90% water, which makes it one of the most hydrating foods you can eat. But that's not all. It also contains citrulline, an amino acid that your body turns into arginine, which helps produce nitric oxide, a compound that relaxes and opens your blood vessels. Why does that matter? Because better circulation means more oxygen and nutrients reaching your muscles. The more oxygen your muscles get, the less likely they are to spasm or cramp, especially after activity. Have you ever felt cramps sneak up after gardening or just walking too long at the mall? That's your circulation working against you. But watermelon helps turn that around. And here's something you might not expect. A slice of watermelon also contains a solid amount of potassium, which helps balance fluids and supports nerve-muscle communication, just like bananas. But paired with its water content and citrulline, it offers something bananas can't: fast-acting hydration with vascular support. So the next time you feel that familiar tightness in your calf, ask yourself, did you drink enough today? Or more importantly, did you eat something that actually helps your body hold on to water, not just pass it through? Because hydration isn't just about drinking fluids, it's about keeping water inside the cells that need it most. Watermelon does exactly that, drawing water into your muscle tissues and keeping everything soft, flexible, and moving. Still not convinced? Consider this. Athletes often drink watermelon juice to recover after races. They don't just want to cool off, they want to replenish and repair. And if it works for their sore, overworked muscles, imagine what it could do for yours. So here's your gentle challenge. 1 cup of watermelon every afternoon this week. Not just for hydration, but for circulation, muscle recovery, and better sleep. And as your muscles soak in the benefits of water and nitric oxide, there's one more fruit waiting to complete the picture. It's bright, tart, and loaded with something your body needs to build and repair muscle tissue, especially after age 60. It's probably sitting in your fruit bowl right now. Want to know which one? 4. Oranges. The circulation superfruit. You've probably reached for an orange when you felt a cold coming on. But what if I told you this bright, familiar fruit does more than boost your immune system? It might actually help rebuild your muscles from the inside out. As you age, your body produces less collagen, the protein that gives your muscles, tendons, and ligaments their structure and elasticity. Without it, your muscles become more fragile, less flexible, and more prone to tearing, straining, and yes, cramping. So here's the real question. What are you doing each day to support collagen production? That's where oranges shine. They're loaded with vitamin C, a powerful antioxidant that your body absolutely needs to make new collagen. Without enough vitamin C, your muscle fibers struggle to repair themselves, especially after even mild exertion. Have you ever felt soreness in your legs that lasted longer than it should? That's often a sign your body is struggling to keep up. But vitamin C doesn't stop there. It also helps reduce oxidative stress, the kind of internal inflammation that silently wears down your tissues over time. And if your muscles are inflamed, they're not just more likely to cramp. They take longer to heal, and they make everyday movement feel harder than it should. Now let me ask you something. When was the last time you ate an orange not because you were sick, but because your muscles needed healing? And there's more. Oranges improve blood vessel health. The vitamin C they contain helps keep your arteries strong and flexible, which in turn supports better circulation. That means oxygen and nutrients get where they're needed, especially to your muscles when they're recovering from a long day. Poor circulation is a major factor in leg cramps among older adults. It's not just about how strong your heart is. It's about whether your blood is actually reaching the small muscle fibers that cry out during the night. When blood flow is weak, your muscles don't get what they need, and that discomfort shows up in the worst moments, when you're resting, trying to sleep, or just taking a walk. And here's something few people realize. Oranges contain water, quite a bit of it actually. Eating one is another subtle way to stay hydrated throughout the day. When you combine hydration, antioxidant protection, and improved circulation, you get a natural defense system your muscles will thank you for. So here's a simple habit worth trying. Eat 1 orange mid-morning, not just for the taste, not just for the vitamin C, but as an act of muscle repair. Something you do not when the pain arrives, but before it ever shows up. And now that you've met the 4 fruits, each with their own role, their own way of strengthening, relaxing, or restoring your muscles, there's only one thing left to ask. What would your life look like without cramps? Because the final part of this journey isn't just about fruit. It's about freedom, to sleep through the night, to go for a walk without fear, to wake up without that familiar stab of pain. And in just a moment, we'll bring it all together. Remember that sharp pain we talked about at the beginning? The one that jolts you awake, steals your sleep, and makes every step the next day feel like a risk? Now imagine this. You wake up one morning, not from pain, but from a full night's rest. No cramp, no limp, just a quiet, easy start to your day. Your legs feel stronger. Your body moves with less effort. And all you changed was what you ate. Because here's the truth most people overlook. Your muscles don't need more pills. They need the right kind of support, natural, consistent, and nourishing. Bananas to restore lost potassium. Kiwis to relax your muscles with magnesium. Watermelon to rehydrate and improve circulation. Oranges to rebuild collagen and repair what age quietly wears down. One fruit won't change everything overnight, but small, smart choices every day can. So ask yourself this: what if your next step wasn't painful? What if your next night was uninterrupted? What if your next walk didn't end in worry, but in confidence? Start simple. Add one of these fruits to your routine today, then another. Let your food become your quiet medicine. No side effects, no prescriptions. Just the body getting what it's been asking for all along. And if you found this helpful, share it with someone you care about. Because nobody over 60 should have to fear bedtime. Not when nature has already offered the answer.